Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and a Trump case is headed for the Supreme Court. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. And if you want to see Trump not in court but in the White House, hit that join button and become a member of this channel. Guys, Michael Cohen is exhausting. He really is just exhausting. He appeared on CNN last night and he made a bombshell announcement, really, and I have to cover it. He's taking his case against the federal government, namely former President Donald Trump and Attorney General Bill Barr, to the Supreme Court. And what he wants the Supreme Court to do is something that it has been reticent to do in history, not just recent history, but in history. He wants the Supreme Court to allow him to sue former President Trump and former Attorney General Bill Barr, and has called himself a political prisoner. Now, he claims that he was jailed for exercising his First Amendment rights. I will remind you, what he was jailed for was lying to the federal government, was lying to the FBI. That's what he was jailed for. His contention is that he was jailed for exercising his First Amendment rights. I want you to hear what he has to say here, and I know some of us have a lot of mixed feelings on the power of the federal government and the executive branch, so I really want to know what you think about this in the comments.
Just you and I know this, but to get people up to speed, you sued Trump, you sued the former Attorney General Bill Barr and other federal officials in 2021. Your lawsuit was for damages, and it was dismissed and upheld by an appeals court. But obviously, you're hopeful that this is going to clear a hurdle for the Supreme Court to get in front of them. As you know, Michael, it's difficult for Americans to sue federal law enforcement officials. So I just am curious, tell me why you think and why you're hopeful this one will succeed.
Well, in what world is it acceptable that a citizen should be unconstitutionally remanded and that you cannot sue the government for unconstitutionally violating your rights? It just doesn't, it makes absolutely no sense. On top of that, the thing that all of the viewers today have to be very, very careful and they have to be very cognizant of is what happens now post the Supreme Court's decision on presidential immunity. Caitlin, what's to stop the president, or God forbid a million times Donald Trump, if he wins the White House again, from turning around and saying, you know, I didn't like, Caitlin, what you said, and send SEAL Team 6 to your home? They end up knocking down your door, begging, tagging you, and sending you off, as he says, to Guantanamo Bay. And you don't even have the right now to defend yourself. All I'm asking for by the Supreme Court, give me my day in court and let the documents speak for themselves.
Yeah, and Michael, obviously, you know, we just dealt with an entire trial where you were there, you testified, you were in that situation. This is obviously very different because you're going to the Supreme Court. But I do wonder, you know, given the makeup of the Supreme Court, given the way we've seen them ruling on certain decisions, the trend line has kind of been against this ability to be able to sue federal officials. I think we've only had really 2 instances since the 70s where they've been successful. So I wonder, you know, realistically, how you are viewing this and what precedent you think it sets if you're not successful here.
So this is a first-in-time precedented case. We've never had a citizen of the United States incarcerated because they refused to waive their First Amendment constitutional right. I mean, I am the first, in essence, political prisoner held by my own country, again, because I refused to waive a constitutional right. And I believe that it's incumbent upon the Supreme Court of the United States to hear this case and to remand it back down. You see, the interesting thing, Judge Lyman